This is great banter. It really is.
Hello everyone, my name's Dr. Nick and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today, you will see tanks 90% of you will never ever get to drive. They are Clan Wars reward tanks that I have earned myself by playing hard and wrecking people. And the first tank you will see is the IS-5 or Object 730 as it was announced when it was announced. Look, I had a really bad night sleeping, so if I start rambling about random things like Jello, just deal with it, because today is and also it was really windy in the Netherlands last couple of days, and I had to bicycle through work through that wind, so my legs are, well, actually Jello, but nice muscle Jello, because muscle Jello. I'll just continue with the tanks and the gameplay, I guess. Well, probably not the gameplay, but I can talk about the tanks. And the tank I'm going to talk about now is the IS-5, also known as the Object 730. And a fun small fact about the Object 730 is that that was a working title for what is now known as the T-10. So the Object 730 is basically the IS-8, which is basically the T-10. So what we have here is a dumbed down version of the T-10 at tier 8 with a worse gun and a worse power to weight ratio and worse turret armor and lower DPM, but that's basically what you get if you get a tier lower. It all gets a bit worse. So then, flip-flop, what are the upsides to the IS-5? Well, it's got better armor than the IS-3 technically. Its pike nose is more prominent, so you get to bounce more shots. But not only that, its gun is technically better and worse because it got a higher DPM and it fires APCR, but with that APCR comes 221mm of penetration, which is 4mm worse than the IS-3. And that quite makes a difference, because with APCR you get less normalization, which means you bounce faster. And I have noticed that. Also, its accuracy is 0.46 instead of 0.4. That no worky and strongholdy Clan Wars. Wait, 221mm of penetration firing APCR? That sounds quite a lot like the IS-3A. Correct, it is the same gun, but the IS-5 aims a bit faster but fires a bit slower. That's how they made differences in the gun, to give the people that have the IS-5 for the feeling that they have a different tank. Because it is a different tank, because it's the IS-8 hull instead of the IS-3 hull, which is actually the T-10 hull. Oh man, this is confusing. Couldn't the Russians or the Soviet Union just have made one tank to rule them all? No, that would be a bad idea. They could have won the war and then America would have not been all like, democracy! Anyways, so why is the IS-5 possibly better than the IS-3A? Well, it fires a bit slower, it has a more prominent pike nose which may bounce more shots, especially against APCR, and it has 4 crew members. It has 4 crew members to train, so you can train your IS-3 crew better, instead of 3 on the IS-3A. That's the reason I didn't buy an IS-3A, because I can already train 4 of my crew members in the IS-5. But there is a downside to the IS-5. Yes, it was a Clan Wars reward tank, and that's the problem, it was a reward tank. But I still had to pay 12k gold for it. As the system was back then when I was still on QSFL, you would get licenses, so if a clan did really well, they would get licenses to give away the tank to their clan members. And you had to be top 1500 in fame points. Now you gain fame points by playing well with your clan. You know what, I'll just hold up a picture on the screen. On the top side you will see clan position and then number of licenses. 1000 licenses will be given away to the best clans on fame points. And then on the bottom one, 1500 people in the top 1500 in fame points, personal fame points. This has nothing to do with clan fame points, but your personal. So a total of 2500 IS-5s would have been given away. But if you did not get a license from a clan, you would have to pay for it. So if you were in the top 1500 and your clan was not good, you would still get the tank, but you would have to pay for it as if it was a normal tier 8 premium. Which is a downside, because, you know, it's a reward tank, I worked for it, I still have to pay wargaming to get my reward. But on the plus side, this is the first time they have given away a new reward tank that makes credits. This is a full-on premium tank. The IS-5 makes credits, crew training, everything that a premium tank does at tier 8. But floppy socks, I have seen the FCN50T and the 112 as tier 8 reward tanks for a campaign. Yes, correct. But those are not actual reward tanks because you can buy them in the premium store. Go and have a look if you can buy the IS-5 in the premium store. Well, can you? I don't think so. At least I don't think so. Let me have a look. No, you can't. And that's what I mean. The IS-5 is the first actual reward tank that makes credits. Wargaming knew all too well that if you give out a full tier 8 premium tank for Clan Wars, people will throw their wallet at their monitors so hard, Wargaming would get double the money. Now, I know a few people that got the tank, or would be able to buy them, and didn't, because they felt like Wargaming was just like, alright, you did work, now give me more money and effort for doing things. Nah, they didn't buy them. But people have bought them, I bought mine, and I'm pretty happy with it. It makes a lot of credits, especially in Strongholds. I have played for an hour, I think 2 days ago. We had a credit reserve on, and I made 800,000 credits in just an hour. That's pretty good in my book. I'm okay with it. So what's Alec doing? Bouncing off the side of W's at Bomber once because Heat is a whiny bitch. My apologies, that one slipped me. Any usual. Next premium reward. Premium? This is not a premium, sadly enough, but it is a reward tank. The Object 907. As you can see, it is a Russian tier 10 medium tank. Just like the Object 140, T-62A, Object 430, and the T-22SR. Now what is so good about it? Well, it has a higher DPM than the 140, T-62A, or the T-22SR. It is a extremely bouncy turret, not quite as bouncy as the T-62A, but bouncier than the 430 and the 140, but it has one less degree. No, wait, is that correct? Yeah, it has 1 degree less gun depression than the Object 140, which is kind of meh. But you cannot have everything. If this had 6 degrees of gun depression, it would be the most overpowered tier 10 Russian medium tank in the game ever, forever and always. And even Wargaming decided that give only a small group of people that are really good at the game, or somewhat good at the game because they play Clan Wars, a very overpowered tank would be bad for the game and the gameplay, and it would lose them players. So they did not give it 6 degrees of gun depression, but 5 instead, and a really bad ammo rack. Shoot it somewhere in the front and the right and it will get ammo racked. You will see that this game I will get ammo racked twice. Spoiler! So a good portion of this game I have to play with a broken ammo rack because it's so bad. Oh, and the hull armor is very troll. From the front, if you shoot it directly at it, the hull is extremely bouncy, not quite as bouncy, but very bouncy, not really bouncy, just very bouncy. And the side is equivalent to that of the T-22SR. It is a sort of V-shape. So you have to get a bit lucky if you want to pan your shots, and if you really want to pan your shots, shoot in the hull below the turret, because that is where the turret sort of flattens out to give them a basket to stand in. And the T-22SR doesn't have it, and somewhere that is really broken and didn't give them space in the tank, so they didn't really actually make that tank because it was too small inside. Oh, yeah, I think you've heard enough about tanks, because this is a Russian medium tank at tier 10. There's nothing really inherently bad with it, or good at it. It is good, not really bad, just really good. Not bad, good, broken. That's the one. So then, I will hear you scream, or probably not, because you're not insane.
Phil, how do I get tanks this one?
Well, play Clan Wars with a clan, and specifically a campaign. Now, the campaigns are announced before they happen. A campaign happens maybe twice a year. There's a mini campaign probably coming June, and then a big campaign somewhere in November. I think that's the schedule they want to sort of hold, but they probably won't because they're wargaming and they do whatever the hell they want. But campaigns are the only way to get these reward tanks, and for this campaign, the Black Gold campaign, where I have 4 hours of footage on this YouTube channel, the rewards were the American tier 10 medium, the M60 comparable to the M48 Patton, the German tier 10 heavy, the VK7201, which is a lower at tier 10 with E100 gun and better armor somewhat, but broken, not really, because we all fire premium nowadays. The tier 10 Russian medium, the Object 907, you will see on the screen here with a bit of poop smeared on the turret. And the newcomer, the tier 10 American medium tank, the T95E6, which is, well, streamlined tank with the T95E2 hull and a new turret we have never seen before with the T125 gun, but a massive cupola, as the Americans love their cupolas. And as usual, as explained in the last gameplay with Alalakalak in his IS-5, there was licenses given out by the clan. I guess the top 50 gave out licenses to their player. And then you had, on personal fame points, you had to be in the top 6,000. I was, I think, 2,000 something on fame points, so I got to choose any tank I want. If you want to go back to the last Clan Wars campaign video, you will see what players in QSFE got the tank, and they all picked the 907 because it's a tier 10 Russian medium tank. I was going to tell how to join a campaign. Yes, basically what you have to do is you have to get a clan. You have to be in a clan that plays Strongholds and Clan Wars. Maybe not Clan Wars, but Strongholds is a must, because you have to get team play within your clan. And not only that, you have to have a commander which has somewhat experience playing and commanding at least 14 other players for the tier 10 stage. And you have to have players that want to show up every single evening and play World of Tanks for at least 4 hours for a month. 30 days of playing tanks from 8 in the evening till like 11 or 12 in the evening. If you want to get a tank, there's no guarantee if you join you will get a tank. You will have to play every single evening. You will have to have a team or a clan full of players that you know you can trust, and they will get a tank as well. There's a lot of factors that come together if you want to get a reward tank in a big campaign. But of course there are mini campaigns, and mini campaigns are 10 days of tier 8 shenanigans. And last campaign that was a mini campaign, the reward was the T23E3, and that's a really bad tier 7 American medium tank. It's not really that special. It's comparable to the Comets, but worse, and you all know how much I love my Comets. But the mini campaign before that had the IS-5 as reward, so it's give or take what the reward is for a mini campaign. Actually, the mini campaign for the T23E3 had the FCM50T as reward for tier 8, and the T23E3 as tier 7 reward for the rest of the people that did something good but not really good. But for a clan like QSFE, it would be impossible to get the FCM50T as reward, because clans like Fame and 3XR and who the what now would be in the top 10, and you had to be in the top 10 in clan rating, Fame clan rating, clan Fame point rating to get this FCM50T. So T23E3 it is! Well, I have 20 seconds left to talk about something, not that I can get another shot off in this game, because everyone's hiding from me and John, and Salmaniac sadly enough died. This game was about a 34%, and somehow we carried because we are good. Tier 10 Russian mediums to the rescue! Somewhat, we sort of did things.